Today, we're diving into something big, a really fundamental shift in how we build technology. You see, general-purpose AI has created what one writer calls a rupture in the fabric of the tech industry. It's completely flipping the script on how we design, build, and grow software. We are absolutely in a new era.
Okay, so let's start with a feeling I bet you've had if you've ever used a tool like ChatGPT. You type something in and you get an answer back, but it doesn't feel like a simple calculation, does it? It feels, well, unpredictable, almost alive.
And hey, if you've felt that, you are definitely not alone. The source for this explainer tells this great story about a friend who got her medical results analyzed by ChatGPT, and she just could not believe that it wasn't just pulling up memorized facts. It was seeing patterns, making connections, doing things its own creators didn't entirely see coming. This quote just nails that feeling of awe and maybe a little unease.
To really get our heads around just how different this new AI world is, we first need to take a quick trip back in time. Back to the classical world of software, the world that, until very recently, was the only one we knew. For decades, software has worked like a beautifully predictable machine. You can boil it all down to a simple function, f of x equals y. For any specific input x, like say you tap a button to book a car or send a message, you get a specific guaranteed output y. The car gets booked, the message gets sent, simple.
And the whole goal, the absolute mission for engineers, was to make that function work perfectly, every single time. Teams had all these dashboards and metrics, all pushing for 100% reliability. You press X, you must get Y. No excuses, no exceptions.
And this thinking wasn't just for the engineers, right? The product folks lived in this world too. They thought in terms of funnels. They designed these carefully crafted pathways with a limited set of choices, all to guide you, the user, toward a very specific goal, like signing up or buying something. It was an orderly, predictable world.
But then, general-purpose AI showed up, and it didn't just evolve the rules, it shattered them. It was less like an update and more like a quantum leap into a totally new reality, one that feels a little strange and counterintuitive.
And here's the absolute game changer. We stopped teaching machines how to do one specific, narrow thing, like find the spam. Instead, we started feeding them just mind-boggling amounts of data, and from that, they developed general-purpose abilities, things like understanding language or having a sense of sight. And this means they can now do tons of stuff they were never, ever explicitly trained for.
So that clean little f of x equals y equation, yeah, that's out the window. Now we're dealing with f prime of a question mark. The input is no longer a known specific x, it's a wide-open question mark. You can ask it pretty much anything. And the output? It's not a single y anymore. It's a cloud of probabilities, a whole range of likely, reasonable answers.
I mean, just look at how this changes everything. We've gone from a world of known, limited inputs to one that is infinite and totally open-ended. The output is no longer fixed and deterministic, it's probabilistic. Our whole metaphor for the user experience has to change. We're not in a narrow funnel anymore. We're exploring a vast, infinite field.
This leads us to this really key idea. These models are stochastic. It's just a fancy word that means there's a bit of randomness baked into the output. So you can give it the exact same prompt twice and get two slightly different, but still totally valid results. And you have to understand, this isn't a bug. It's a core feature that lets us explore really complex problems in new ways.
Okay, let's make this real. Imagine you ask an AI to design a landing page for a car wash. Here's the first result. It sounds great, right? Sleek, modern, a gleaming black sports car. I can picture it.
And now, here's the magic. You run the exact same prompt again, and this time, you get a completely different but equally awesome idea. A minimalist design focused on a close-up of water beating on the hood. It's different, but it's also a perfect creative solution. That right there, that's the probabilistic world in action.
So if the technology itself is this fundamentally different, probabilistic instead of deterministic, then that means our whole playbook for building products has to change with it. The old rules just don't apply anymore.
This is such a critical point to understand. Our old engineering brain wants to control everything. It wants to slap on the old reliability metrics and force this new AI back into that old predictable box. But here's the catch. With AI, the more you try to control it, the more you actually nerf it. You make it less intelligent and ultimately a lot less useful.
What this really means is that our entire mindset has to shift. We have to stop thinking like engineers who are building a perfect machine based on known rules. Instead, we have to start thinking like scientists, conducting experiments. Why? Because we are dealing with unknowns that have to be discovered, not just built.
So what does this new playbook look like? Well, it starts with a really radical and humble assumption. I don't know. From there, you test absolutely everything. And maybe most importantly, nothing is sacred. You have to be ready to tear the whole thing down and rebuild from the ground up the moment a new discovery changes the game.
Okay, I know this might all sound a little abstract and philosophical, but a company called Replit gives us this incredible, dramatic, real-world example of what this new playbook looks like in action.
So here's what happened. A new, much more powerful AI model came out. And the team at Replit, they looked at it and realized its capabilities were so different, so much more advanced, that just patching their existing product wasn't going to cut it. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was a whole new paradigm.
So they did something that sounds completely insane in the old world of software. They decided to rebuild their entire multi-million-dollar product from scratch. And get this, they did it in less than 3 weeks. They just leaned into the power of the new model instead of trying to box it in.
So, did this crazy, radical scientific bet actually pay off? Oh yeah. Just 1 quarter later, their revenue shot up, hitting a $100 million annual run rate. It was a massive, undeniable validation of this whole new approach.
And the thing is, the Replit story isn't just some crazy one-off. It's a huge signal that we have truly entered a new era, an era that plays by a completely different set of rules for how you build things, how you grow, and how you win.
What it all boils down to is this. We've moved from a world where we engineer solutions based on what we know to a world where we have to discover them through experimentation. We have to observe, guess, and learn as we go. In this new era, data isn't just the new oil, it's the map. It's the map we desperately need to find our way through this vast, unknown territory.
So this is where we are now. We're all standing at the edge of this infinite field, and we're armed with these incredible new tools whose full potential is still a complete mystery, even to the people who made them. And that leaves us with this one final, really exciting thought. What on earth are we going to find out here?